Up next, the secrets to living long and living rich. Sounds good, right? Tom Hine, author of Balanced Wealth Approach, Secrets to Living Long and Living Rich, joins us now to share some of his wisdom. Listen, we are all ears. I can't believe it. I want to know how we can get in on this, right? So thank you so much for joining us. But first, what are the components of the Balanced Wealth Approach? Gotta know.
Good morning, Jordan. Yeah, so the components are, there's 4 that are financial, and then there are 4 that are dealing with health and wellness. And I argue those are the most important 4. So sleep, diet, exercise, and stress reduction. And I want to be mindful for our wealth management clients and your audience that while we're working so hard to accumulate money, save for our kids' education, save for retirement, that we don't want to be ignoring the very important health metrics that we should all be paying attention to, because at the end of the rainbow, you don't want to get to retirement and say, oh my gosh, now I don't have the health to enjoy the money that I work so hard for. So diet, sleep, exercise, stress reduction, those are part of the scorecard that I have in the book.
Okay, wow, thank you so much for that. And it makes total sense. What's your definition of generational wealth and health?
Yeah, so generational wealth, I like to say, not only can it be something as simple as having a family meal together, because all of our schedules are so hectic today sometimes, we forget that just having a meal, we got Mother's Day coming up soon, right? So we want to have mom, the children, the grandchildren together. That's one example of what I would call generational wealth, because you're passing down the wisdom. My mom passed down the St. Anthony prayer, which the book is a tribute to her, about her teaching us religion. And she's still 92 and doing great.
Oh, wow.
So the generational health end, though, think about this. Instead of just giving gifts around graduation of just money, I want clients and people to think about, imagine giving your children or grandchildren the idea that they could have, their genome sequenced, or they could have a health and wellness checkup. In other words, they could know more about the insights in the younger part of their life when they have time to correct things than wait till maybe people find out at age 50 or 60. So that's an example of generational wisdom that we want clients to share for the children or even the grandchildren.
Right, and I feel like I'm already learning a lot right now, so imagine reading your book. Do you find that your message about balanced wealth resonates more with a particular gender or age group, and what group is least receptive to your messages in this approach?
Yeah, Jordan, originally, and it's interesting you asked that, originally when it came to like the cover design and some things, my female clients resonated more with what I was trying to cover in this concept. And that's also probably because the majority of caregivers in this country are female. So maybe that's why it resonated with them. But there was a second tranche of people in the 25 to 45 year age group that were showing more of an interest from, wow, the mental, there's a chapter on mental health and wellness, which we know has become a challenge in the country. So I think it depended upon which chapter affected what age group. The group that probably was less likely to be interested were people who thought that I go to my doctor once a year, which makes sense. I have my checkup once a year, and I feel fine. And I said, that's completely intuitive. I totally agree. The challenge is with what we now know today with precision medicine and all, there are so many things our body is trying to tell us that maybe nothing is wrong now, but maybe we're on a trajectory that 10 years from now, there could be a challenge. Why not jump ahead of it? So another thing that you might like to pick up a golden nugget of information. And I'm not a doctor. I tell my clients, I play one on TV, and they laugh. I'm a financial advisor. But I ask them, why don't you make sure you have your vitamin D level checked out? You'd be surprised how many people don't ask as part of your annual screening when they do a blood test. Ask for your vitamin D level. Ask your doctor, what's the significance of this? And you might find a lot more positive information. And that's something you can take control over very easily. Same thing with people's A1C, right? They want to know, we had diabetes in my family growing up, so I was very particular to make sure that I knew that level. So these are indicators or markers that we want people to know about even before there's a challenge, so they can be proactive. Therefore, you're balancing your health and wellness while you're trying to work hard and create your wealth along the way.
Yeah, I was going to actually use that word, being proactive. So thank you for reminding us to be that way. But if we want to find your book and get into more of this, where can we find it? And do you have a website?
Yeah, Jordan, thanks for asking. So it's thebalancedwealthapproach.com. So it's the title of the book with the .com at the end. Or they can go on Amazon and order the book. I also did an audio version with Audible, so you can actually listen to yours truly, recorded it. It took me a little while. You'll like this, Joy. I had to look up the diet of an opera singer before I did the recording of the book, because there's a certain diet that you have to take when you record a lot. So I learned something in that. So yeah, Amazon is great. Yeah, and you have a certain diet because you don't want to have that morning where you have to read for an hour or two. You don't want to have your voice breaking up. So I actually got to learn something myself about that as well.
Hey, you know what? Maybe that could help me too, because sometimes I feel like I clear my throat more on certain days, and maybe that is because I'm eating, I don't know, maybe dairy, for instance, that, you know, right before. So I'm going to look into that, but I'm also going to look at your book. So thank you so much for joining us today. And if you'd like to see this interview again, just head to our website at firstcoastliving.net.